Alright, so we're on air now. So just give it a minute and then we'll start.
Sure. Are you gonna do the intro, me?
Yeah, I'll just wait for a couple cars to come out on track and then I'll start.
Sure. One car's going out.
Right, hello everybody. Welcome. This is attempt 2 at a race for tier 2 of the FTRF1 season. I am here with Jaden. Hello Jaden.
Hello, Dylan.
Alright, so again, this is attempt number 2. We did try last Wednesday to get this race done. Codemasters having a few issues with their servers, so it wasn't actually our fault. I thought it was mine originally, but yeah, it turned out to be Codemasters. So we're going to have a full quali this time. We've got 15 drivers, which means that everybody will go through to the second qualifying. So effectively this first session is just a practice session. So we saw in tier 1 a pole time, I think it was a 20.7, 20.8. We're in tier 2, so we're going to see some slower times. But what time do we think we're gonna need to get pole position here?
A good time will be in the 123s, I reckon. Maybe even 122. I reckon if they can get a 122, they could probably get a good lead from all the other races.
We did see a few come out on the mediums for Q2 last time. Do you expect them to try get on the mediums again? Because we saw with the tier 3 race, we had a safety car, we had a lot of safety cars, which let people decide a lot of different strategies. But then we saw tier 1 with a lot of one stops. Do you think we expect another one stop race?
Yes. I reckon half the field, at least half the field, will do a one stop. And most definitely people will be doing the medium tyres for the first stint, and maybe if they can push the tyres, go into the softs, but it'll probably be a hard tyre for the next stint.
Yeah, so hard tyre, soft tyre, you're really juggling between those. If you're starting on the mediums, you can have a shorter second stint, but you're not going to maximize your pace on your first stint, which may make you start to drop down the order a little bit. So we will see what's happening there. We do see a couple drivers retire. I think they want to retire to get the session over with because everybody's through to the next session and there's not really anything to compete for here. You're really just chewing up rubber, aren't you?
Yeah, true. I think the drivers want to get track time, just get used to the track, get a feel for the track. So, as I was practicing for Tier 1 racing, the tyres really get destroyed through the corners if you push a car, and tyre management is really a good thing in this race, to push the tyres and also manage.
Yeah, I think the wheel and the pad are quite similarly matched in this game. I don't know how that goes towards tyre wear because I know in other games like Gran Turismo Sport, the difference in tyre wear between using a wheel and using a controller is very different, for example. So we will maybe see one or two drivers saving their tyres during the race, but you don't want to be saving at the start, do you? Because I think with tier 2 you're going to see some more guys going for some early moves in the first sector of the first lap.
Yeah. Sorry, just before my remote turned off, using a faulty remote because it's my best remote for the party. But yeah, so he put a good first lap. It's a good lap time to beat. As you can see, like Buddha setting a 122.5. He's off by almost a second.
Yeah, so first couple times coming in, Saggy Fatface for 121.4. I remember him being top of the pecking order in the first attempt that we tried on Wednesday. We got one more time coming in, so just the 121 for now. The rest on 22s and 23s. Only 5 people have gone out. Do you think we'll see everybody come out? Because I mean, the session isn't really worth anything, is it?
I reckon most people will come out, but as you can see, the two races, Nikishin and Nan Bulldog, have retired already because they just want to get to the next session, get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really,
so we've got.
I think they really want to get it out because of the cancelled race.
Yeah, so 2 guys retiring. Obviously, they're not seeing any point in doing the session. Avila with a 122.5, decent lap from him. Good enough for 4th place. We've got Sharknell, who was very quick on the Wednesday with a 22.9. Manu, who DNF'd in Q1 last time, which wasn't a very good showing from him, in 6th place. So, Q2.
Pendejo set a 122.1. It's really close to breaking the 121 barrier.
Yeah, I wouldn't really be trying to go all out.
Donovan Duffy just blocked Pendejo on his hot lap.
Alright, yeah, so
there.
So Donovan may be blocking somebody. I hope there's no damage in between. You really don't want to be getting into traffic during your quali laps. Again, this is just really a practice session for the boys. There's not really any points. A saggy fat face, a 121.1 on 3-lap old softs, which is quite impressive. Because yeah, your tires, the soft tires, at least after 2-3 laps, really start dropping off.
Yeah. For my race, the soft tires, I was going to push them, but I had made contact with somebody and broke my front wing, so I had to pit for the hard tires and push them all the way to the end. And I reckon the hard tires is a really good tire for this track as well.
The hard tires were quite consistent when I was on the one stop in tier 1. I got about 21 laps out of him. I put at lap 9 on the softs. The softs really started falling away because, as you said, the soft tires are really degrading when you're really trying to push and get past people. So if you're gonna be qualifying on the softs in Q2, you're gonna make sure that if you're going for the one stop, you can't be pushing that hard on your first stint. Otherwise, you're going to have to run the hards for 22, 23 laps, in which case you might get a puncture.
Yeah. It seems simple to overtake on this track, but I've tried so many times to overtake people and just hardly got the move done because they always got the grip on the outside.
Yeah, so a couple more laps coming through. I think it's Donovan, 2nd place, 22 dead. We've got 10 minutes left in the session now. Again, just a reminder, this will be a practice session for everybody. The top 15 go through, and because we've only got 15 drivers here today, that means that nobody's going to be out of qualifying. So going into Q2, if you don't know, only the top 10 people will qualify in Q2, and the tire that you set your lap on, if you're in that top 10, you will have to start in the race. So you don't want to go more than 2-3 laps in the second qualifying session. Otherwise, you're going to be on that grid, and you're going to start with tire wear at maybe 10-15%, where everybody else is going to be at 2-3%. So you really don't want to be pushing the tires more than 1 lap for your qualifying.
Yes, true. Warming up the tires is a major thing as well, before starting a hot lap as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, in this game, what I've found is you don't really need to be warming up the tires all lap. Like, really, maybe the last 2-3 corners you need to be maybe weaving, but the whole lap you're just going to start degrading your tires.
Yeah. I like to half push through the corners, not to like damage the tires, but also to slowly warm them up, and then obviously what you said, the last 2 corners I start weaving to warm them up properly.
Yep, so run board with Buddha. Looks like he's just he's not on a push lap. I think he's just chilling at the minute. pulling out for somebody else. Is that Avilach? Yeah, it's Avilach on a lap. Coming third into fourth gear on the right-hander. And now you've got swinging. You can really use the engine braking into that corner as he stays in fifth, and then all the way into second. I think he's using automatic here, because in manual you want to stick to third, fourth gear to get the traction. And now coming out, fifth gear on the DRS. He's on low fuel, his ERS is out, and he will set a 122 dead, third place. Not a bad lap at all.
The gap from Donovan and Avar. So close.
Yeah, so 17 hundredths of a second. Avilak looks like on 4 lap old softs, which is a very impressive lap there. But Saggy Fatface looks to be just a level above the rest at the minute. We've got 7 minutes left to go. 2 people haven't set laps and 3 people have retired. Yeah, so we're on board with Avilak still. He's just chilling. He's probably going to pull into the pits. Buddha is on a lap, however. We'll see how he gets on now. Coming through sector 2, you want to be as late as you can. You can really take a lot of curb on this corner, and taking the long left, and now looks like some decent traction. And now this left right chicane, very easy to cut, isn't it?
Yeah. I always, most of the time I go a bit too wide there and get a warning, but
yeah, I end up cutting it quite a bit.
That chicane right. Yeah. You just gotta hit that chicane right to get a good exit. Because if you cut it too much, you're gonna upset the car and not get good enough traction.
So one of the big things I found in the race was the amount of penalties people were getting in my race. So I ended up with the most amount of penalties as Buddha just comes into the pits, not seeing any points and completing his lap. I ended up with 15 seconds worth of penalties, and maybe 70-80% of that was in that fast left-right chicane where cutting it is really, really easy.
Yeah, I think I got a 9-second penalty altogether, and the guy behind me had a 12-second, so I was kind of chilling but also pushing at the same time with my hard tires, which I pushed for in the end 23 laps, and I ended up with 60%. And then Conrad, he set a fastest lap with 60% tire wear on his hards. I was thinking, how could you push those tires? I could hardly push them through the corners.
Well, I mean,
amazing.
I think driver style does count for a lot in this game. You can be very aggressive into the corner, or you can be, you know, very, very smooth. I think the smoother line is the way to save tires in this game. Much more difficult to be consistent when you're trying to be smooth on the controller, but I think if you're on wheel, there's a higher chance that you're able to drive more smoothly. Because if you're driving with the left stick on your controller, it's very jittery. Whereas with the wheel, you can be much more pinpoint with where you want the amount of turn in that you want.
Yeah, you gotta be really sensitive with the stick, otherwise you're gonna either put yourself in the wall or spin out, or who knows.
That actually ended up happening to me. So so we went into turn 3. I took the inside line because somebody was coming up behind me, and I saw that I had enough space to go onto the outside again to get the correct turn in, and I was a bit too aggressive on the left stick, and I actually ended up hitting the wall, and that got me an orange wing on the left side, so that really ruined my race and why I only ended up 6th place. Otherwise I probably would have ended up ahead of my teammate Luke. I see a couple comments in the chat, so I see Ignite saying, hello, let's go Dylan, you beast, how's it Tariq? Thanks. Tegan also checking me out here. And I'm Goku saying, how's it Goku, how you doing? Hope you're looking forward to this race. We've got 2 people that haven't retired from the session, so we've got to wait for those to go into qualifying 2. And whilst we are waiting for the formalities to finish, this isn't just the Australian Grand Prix that we're hosting today, it's actually the Durable Projects Grand Prix of Australia that we have today. So Durable, very happy to have on board them. They do any electrical engineering that you might want to have done. So if you need anything from a certificate of compliance to solar panels, they're really the guys to go for. They can install things like water tanks, piping and boreholes, all the way to hydraulics and automation. If you're looking for stuff like gate motors, then they're also the guys to look, and they do domestic as well as industrial electrical engineering. So if you're looking for any of that, contact Durable Projects. You can go onto their website at durableprojects.co.za, and yeah, very good to have you guys on board. Thanks.
We just got Yakonako and Sniffer. Sniffer still in the pits. Sniffer hasn't set a lap. He's been in the pits the whole time, so we're just waiting on them to get onto Q2.
Yeah, just waiting. We've got Tasnim saying let's go Ferrari team. Currently 6th and 7th with Jaco Nel and Jaco Nachel in the Ferrari team. We've got Conrad cheering on the Mercedes. How's it, Conrad? The winner of the Tier 1 race, as well as the engineer for the other Mercedes teams in the other tiers. Well done, Conrad, on your Tier 1 win. You pretty much dominated the field. So it wasn't so nice being behind you, I'll tell you that, and I was very surprised to see you come out in first place because you started 4th, and by end of corner 1 you were pretty much gone. You were already a second ahead of me. So good to see you, Conrad. Ignite saying Merc for the win. 2nd and 10th, Burnout and Donovan. We will see how they get on. Do you have any favorites going into the race?
I don't really know the races, but I think Avalak or Donovan will maybe get up there. I know Saggy Face is really fast. I reckon he's going to be up there in the top 3 with them.
Yeah, so we've got Saggy. I know it's a bit difficult to read in the stream, but it is a 21-1. Saggy currently, I think it's about 9/10 to a second ahead of second place. 1 minute 30 left in the session. Just the one guy, Sniffalaza, please retire, mates. We need you to retire so we can go on to Q2. I don't want to have to wait this minute and a half, because yeah, sometimes these loading screens can be a bit arduous. Right, so I think we will leave that for now, and we will join you back when Q2 starts.
While we're here, we could probably talk about the race in Spain. What was your thoughts of it?
Oh, mate, I was probably on my phone for most of that race. I don't know about you. I wasn't that interested.
It was a really boring race for me, but Albon got a few good overtakes on the outsides.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw one on, I think it was Magnussen, out of turn 3. It's a very good overtake. But yeah, we're still waiting on Sniffer. Not sure where he is, but still waiting on him.
Yeah, it's delaying everything a little bit, but that's just what we've got to do. Tegan saying the Spain race was super boring. I mean, we had two really good races at Silverstone. But yes, the Spain race was a little bit dull. I guess if you're watching the strategies, maybe it was a bit more tense for you as we see Q1 finishing. But yeah, I wasn't very impressed. Do you think Catalonia should be taken off the calendar? I think it might be time.
Yes, I think there's been rumours of it being taken off next year, so I don't think we're going to be seeing a race there anytime soon.
Well, yeah, I'm really not too sure because these tracks tend to sign multi-year deals. So Hockenheim's came to an end, but before it ended, they had a 5-year contract to race there. Tegan saying nowhere to overtake on Spain and bring Germany back. Would you like to see Hockenheim back? Very simple track, but you got the really technical Sector 3 and the really quick Sector 2.
I would love to see it. After last year's race, I would love to see the track come back. Or for every race.
Well, it's quite decent having a track in the woods because the environment tends to be a little bit topsy-turvy, so you don't know what race you're going to get. 1 minute it's sunny, the other minute it's raining as Q2 starts. Only 11 people. I'm not too sure why that is. I'm just going to look on the message board just in case, but Q2 has started as we see most people come out. I just need to put the tires on. yeah, so we've got one person on the mediums at the minute, only Pandigo brave enough to go on the mediums. What are we thinking the tire delta will be between the softs and the mediums? I'm tempted to say a second, but depending on the track conditions, it can be less or more.
I'm saying a second, but it really depends on the way the drivers go around the track and use the whole track to get faster around it, or maybe manage your tires. But yeah, it always ends up with how the driver drives.
Yeah, so we've only got 11 people here. Still waiting for a confirmation as to why. Are you seeing only 11 people on your screen?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening, but I think Codemasters is doing what it's doing best.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. We might have a lobby reset just now. Otherwise, yep, Q2 will continue. Hopefully those drivers can come back. Got just everybody on the outlaps at the minute. Saggy for some reason is showing the intermediates on my timing screen, but you can see he's got the soft branded tire there. Manu just coming around the last couple of corners, and we will probably stay on for him. Manu DNFing in Q1 last time out on the Wednesday. It's come across the final corner now. Quick to the DRS detection zone, which means he will be on a lap. Hitting the straight at about 322, 223, so we're running a bit more downforce than the usual setup, using all of the curb as he extends in turn 2, and now to race down to turn 3. You want to brake as late as you can again, into third, second gear. I would have taken third, again, depends if you're an automatic. Taking the left-hander a bit cautiously. Sometimes you can take some of that curb, sometimes you ended up your car just becomes a skateboard, doesn't it, on that long curb if you get it wrong. Do you want to talk just the rest of this lap?
Yep, I will do that. It's the horse. Okay. Obviously here you want to be flat out. This is Manu? Yeah, Manu. They're coming to the quick session. Good through there. Get the revs up, then go down too low in the gears. You want to be in fourth gear for that one, use the curb which Manu didn't. This one's a very fast corner, you want to be going wide on that one. Yeah, that corner was nice. And good exit from Manu to finish off his lap with a 122.2. Good lap.
Yeah, decent lap.
4/10 off Buddha.
Right, so
I'm just on board with Avalok in the moment.
Overlook here on a lap. I just see Tasneem saying in the chat that those drivers all crashed. They'll be back for the race. I've obviously missed something massive there, Tasneem, so thank you for that. Donovan has retired. I'm not too sure why, which means that pending... Well, actually, more drivers are retiring now, so let's just see. Maybe they want to do a new lobby.
2 drivers... I'm not sure what's happened, but...
Oh, they actually crashed. Oh wow, they've crashed as well. Wow,
not sure
okay.
what happened there.
Yeah. Something weird has happened there. Donovan crashed. I see Sniffleizer went out a similar time to him as well. Don't know if there was contact. Avilak does go quickest with the 121.5, so good lap from him. I'm not too sure what's going on at the minute. Have these two just had a bit of an entanglement?
I'm not sure, but I'm checking race director here, and it says Donovan crash with thermal damage, and then there were 2 warnings towards Yakanako and Sniffleizer, and then the crash for Sniffleizer came in after that, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Yeah, so
There's also another yellow flag on the straight. Maybe someone's just going a bit too slow.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. This game's quite liberal with the when you're going slow and giving out yellow flags.
Yeah.
So
See, Avlak has got the fastest lap with a 21.5. It's a good lap by him.
yeah, so we talked about him a bit earlier. Red doing really well on a 121.5. Saggy Fatface hasn't set a lap yet, though. You won't have to set a lap to get through, because 2 people have retired, so you will go through to the next session regardless. Just Donovan and Snifflaza with 2 crashes. At the moment we think they're separate. It could be that they collided, but Jaden saying on the race director that, you know, probably separate. With Carl Halsinger on a lap, it looks like he's pulled out as well. The only man on the medium tire doesn't look like he will complete his lap though, as Saggy Fatface looks to be absolutely motoring it 6th gear into the left right. Will he take DRS? Is he on a lap? He is, so we will finish. Looks like a purple sector 2 for him. We were thinking that he was the quickest coming into the second session, as he joins Bottas's lawn mowing team there on that corner into 4th gear using all the engine braking he can, and then he'll brake into that left-hander. Got to be really smooth with the traction out in the final corner. 4th gear grabs 5th, and now it will just be a race to the line as he will cross and do a 121.2, so quickest lap. We thought Avilach was quick, but it looks like Saggy Fatface has the one up.
I think he's messed up one of his laps. That's why he went to go around one more time and not feel for it.
Yeah, so Saggy, quick lap. Yeah, good lap from him.
Narco's come out of the pits, try and get him out of Q2.
Yeah.
Luckily he can get.
Yeah, we see a couple of people coming out, or Burnouts just coming in. Just 2 people on their out laps, Pandigo and Buddha, as well as Yakunel. We've got Yakunel and Yakunahu, so we'll just have to watch on the 2 Ferraris, but everybody will go through from the session besides Donovan and Snifflaza, obviously. So we've got Julie saying hello in the chat. Hello Julie, nice to have you. We've got 2 people on the out lap. Is there anybody that you want to join?
I'm on board with It's Me Buddha. He's coming up to the straight right now.
Alright.
Hot lap.
So Saggy invalidating his lap, as we've got Buddha now on. So I think we'll just stay quiet for this lap, and we'll just let you enjoy hearing the sounds of this F1 car.
So he ran a little bit wide there at the second last corner.
Yeah,
but
so
he does go pole position.
P1, yeah, well done to him. Henry just saying it's Jacques. Is okay. My pronunciation's been very bad since I've left SA. I'm gonna go with Jacques. I'm just gonna call him that. Yeah, so we're just gonna go with that. Alright. Barry's saying good luck, Manu. So Manu in 5th place. So yeah, we've got 5 minutes left in Q2. Is there anybody that you want to jump on with?
I saw this Pendejo starting. I think he's back. Oh no, he's retired. See Yakanako come to finish his lap. Try and get him out of Q2. And he does improve and goes to 7th. And then Sniffler is out of Q2. Not even sending a lap. Not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, so Snifflaza Donovan having a separate incident. Shark now is up into 7th place. Everybody just retiring now, because if everybody retires, then we can go into the next session. Everybody that did set a lap will all go through. Yeah, not really much else to say other than we're waiting for the top 10 shootout. Yeah.
Who do you reckon is your predicted top 3?
I predicted top 3. Probably the 3 you see at the top at the minute. They just seem to be, what's that? 3, maybe 4 tenths between Avilak and Jaco Nachel. So probably the top 3 for me. What about you? Is there any outliers you think might get through?
Yeah, I reckon Sagi and Buddha will have a close fight in the race for qualifying. I reckon Sagi might beat Buddha into pole position.
Interesting choice. Yeah, 2nd place, not the worst place to start from. Certainly better than the back of the grid. It will be on. Is that 3? I think he said his quickest lap on 3-lap old softs, which might count against him. As we've got Warlock saying, well done Manu, keep it up. Yes, Manu, 5th place. Looks like a decent showing for him. We obviously will go into Q3 now to get the final standings. So your 10 going, or your 9 going through, will be the 9 that set lap times. Donovan and Snifflaza DNFing there. So yeah, looks like we'll wait for Q3 now, as you can see the times there. Anybody stand out?
Well, you can see there's a big gap between the top 4 and the rest of the grid, being at least a second gap between them. So I reckon there'll be a good fight between top 4 and the rest of the grid. I reckon from 5th to 7th there will be a battle between them, and the rest I'm not really sure about.
Yeah, so we've got Carl.
Still down to the first group.
We've got Carl, the only man on the mediums. So he will start his race on the medium tire. It should be a 1-stop. Well, it's what we think will be just a 1-stop. But again, safety cars
and
could prove to be a bit of an issue. But it is raining, right? Okay. So will it be inters or will it be wet tires? I have no idea, and I'm not too sure, but this might affect what tire you can start on. I think if it rains in any parts of a qualifying session, the tire that you can start on is completely up to you. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, they'll start on the inters, it looks like. Who's gone out there so I can check what tires are on? Yeah, it will be the inter tires.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's inter tires. Wets will be a bit too slow.
Yeah, so Tegan asking how many laps the race will be. It's 29, if I remember correctly, so a 50% race. So do tune in for the race, as we've got this 11 minutes. It's 11 minutes left in the qualifying session. Top 9, everybody out, it looks like, bar 4 people. Yeah, we saw in my session, or in our session, we had we had some 35s. Set some 34s. Yeah. Do you think that's the lap time they're going to be aiming for?
Yeah, most definitely. If they can get that lap, they'll be very confident that they'll get a good position.
Did now during this race, did you use medium traction control or were you off?
I'm fully off. My only assist that I use is corners only. But I've always wanted to get off it, but it's really hard.
Yeah. So I was all the braking spots. I was also running no traction, and you really want to be a few gears up for some of these corners, like out of the traction zones for the last corner. I was finding myself short shifting into 5th just to try and get some extra grip.
Yeah, that's what I do out of that corner. Then I can put the pedal down quicker than I can normally do it in 4th and not spin.
Yeah, so Buddha first one to cross the line. He will be the first to settle lap. We might see some track evolution here, depending on how the rain wants to go. We can't see the weather conditions, so it might stop raining in 5 minutes. It might get heavier, so only the drivers really know what's going on as we're on board with Buddha now. So we'll stay on board with him. Third gear, getting a lot of slide on. It looks like he might be using no traction control by the looks of it, as he nearly hits the wall.
There.
Yeah.
Still using most of the track, which is good. Then use the track to the fullest to get fast enough time.
The curbs are a lot more forgiving on this game, aren't they, compared to last time? So I think in the rain you can maybe take a bit more curb than what we're all used to last year.
Yeah, it's definitely the new game. I love it. The feel of it much better than last year because I can actually trust the car now. Whereas last year I'm really guessing the throttle.
Well, I mean, we've also got quicker cars than last year. I mean, up to 7, 8 tenths on some tracks, with some revised track limits as well. Much stricter on Australia. You could used to cut that right-hander quite a bit. Now, if it's 4 wheels off, it is a penalty. As Buddha running very wide on the second to last corner, he will try to redeem himself, as he will come across the line to set the first time of the session. It will be a 1:34.2. Very quick. I think there's a bit less rain on the track than we had last session.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
Saggy setting a fast lap as well.
Your favourite to win the race, second place. I'm just on board with Carl at the minute, seeing what he can do, grabbing fourth.
So it was just 1/1000th off Buddha.
Yeah, so we've got, was that 12, I think it's 1200ths of a second he's off by, which is, I think, I saw stats in the Spanish qualifying that Vettel was 12 centimeters off going into Q3. Lando Norris out-qualified him by 12 centimeters. So, qualifying can be really close sometimes.
It's crazy. Check the Mercedes out. It's burnout. He's on his outlap right now.
Yeah, so there's two ways you can do this, qualifying with inter tires. You've got 2 sets for the session, so you can either fuel the car to do 1 lap and then come in, or you can fuel the car for 3-4 laps to try get the quickest lap you can out of the car, because tires, although it will make you quicker in the wet, the biggest factor is you really just finding what's the driest line and what's the best place, to put your car. So it's really just on what style people want to use, either going for that 1 lap in, go into the pits, get the next set, 1 lap and then get in, or if you want to go out for maybe a 2-3 lap stint to try get the best lap out of those.
Yeah. See the Ferrari of Yakanako is coming in the pits. The other Ferrari looks like he's
by the looks of it. Looks like to be on very low fuel though, so burnout maybe. Burnout looks to be on that.
Just revs just up.
Yeah, it looks like he's on a lap, so we will stick with him. Staying in third gear, getting losing some grip out of that corner, using some of the curb. You got to be brave to use all of the curb in the wet. Put it that way. Your tires lose a significant amount of grip if you run over those rumble strips, as he'll now do the long right-hander, hugging the outside line, taking some grass as well. That's going to slow down his lap a little bit. So in our qualifying session last Wednesday, we had a wet quali, obviously, but did you put any extra downforce on the car to try to get a quicker lap time?
No, I kept the dry setup because I knew that the race was going to be dry. I just had a feeling that it would have been dry. Because the weather in Australia always changes every day.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way that Parc Ferme rules work is once you set up your car for qualifying, that's the way you have to race it. The only things you can change are your differential and your front wing downforce. So if you're looking to go between a wet quali and a dry race, you can change your front and then you can change it back for the race, but you can't change any of the settings in the car. So you can't change your tire pressures, you can't change your suspension in any way. So it does hamper you somewhat if you go for a fully wet setup and then you're going into a dry race. We've got 3 minutes left on the session. 7 people setting a time. The only people to not set a time is Avilach and Carl. 20 people joining us. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. If you're really enjoying it, please consider sharing the stream. We want to get as many people as we can to watch the great racing that we've got on at the minute. And yeah, we've got 3 minutes left.
I see Carl. Carl's on his hot lap at the moment.
Yeah, looks like Carl's on a lap. Taking a lot of curb there.
Yeah, so he's about to cut that corner. Nice through there. Running a bit too wide there. We'll be saving these last 2 corners. Very easy on the throttle because you don't want to be losing the car. And he sets a 137. It's 3 seconds off the leader.
3 seconds, not a very impressive show. Burnout goes 7th, takes the spot. Avilach on a lap, he's the only person that's not set a time. Cutting a bit of grass. A lot of people joining Bottas's lawn mowing service so far during the qualifying session. As he now gets into the second sector, though, he has invalidated his time. So you know somebody's invalidated their time when the track map on the right goes red. So we know that he's invalidated there. Should go for another lap though. He could pit, but it's going to be very close. So I would stay out if I was him, and maybe just do one more lap. As I'm trying to find some more people. Buddha seems to be on a lap.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's on a lap. We will stick with the leader then. The leader by 12 hundredths, should we say. We had Jaden saying Saggy Fatface was his favourite to win the race. Currently in second. So Buddha sets a purple sector 1, which means there is some track evolution going on, so maybe we'll see some major shifts in the starting order now, as we've got 1 minute 20 left in the session. Coming down into the right hander can take some curb. You can get a bit airborne though and lose some traction if you do that, but he seems to have got through that quite smoothly. He'll now go into the fast left. Cut. Nope, looks to be good.
Put a commentator's curse on him, but...
yeah, I was trying to sabotage him as Jacques goes.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, so we've got a lot of time to find if you're Buddha or Saggy the favourites to go pole, as Buddha uses all of the curb into the final 2 corners now. Got about 6-7 tenths to make up as he comes across the corner.
Gonna be close.
Yes, it's got pole for the minutes. He's got pole for the minutes. As a 33.3, as Saggy Fatface across the line also goes pole on a 32.8. So Saggy, the clear leader at the minute. Who else is on a lap? We've got Avilach, the only person to not set a time so far. Will have to complete his lap. He hasn't got any chances left if he wants to get any higher than 9th place in the session. What's he gonna do?
He has to get these last 2 corners right if he wants to get a good position. Nice to the last corner. And he will set a 134.3. Good lap, up to 4th. Good lap by him.
Decent lap by Avilach into 4th place. we've got a couple more people running, so we've got Pandago into the final sector now. We've also got Yarknakol also on a lap, though it looks like he's forfeited. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yaku's on.
run with Pandago. Very, very wide with 2 corners to go. Not taking a very good line. I don't think he will improve, though he will cross the line. And he'll do no better than what he did on his previous lap. Yakunakul not able to improve, as it looks like just Sagi. Yeah, looks like Sagi's the only person left, which means that he will get pole, but will he finish or will he go into the pits? Nah, it looks like he'll go into the pits. So Sagi will take pole in qualifying in Australia, followed by Buddha, Yaknal, Avilak and Manu in 5th place.
Let's see, Pendejos at 6 laps on the inters. So if it's a wet race, it's gonna be struggling for tyre wear.
Well, I think with any wet race, if the race is wet, you don't have to use the tyres that you qualified on, so I think you will be alright for now.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's finished, nobody else can set a lap time. We're just waiting for the game to wrap up the qualifying. There's some things that the game has to do. So, yep, there we go. It's all finished. So we will just confirm the grid order when that screen comes up.
Do you reckon it will be a dry race?
It should be a dry race. It was rough for us when it was a wet quali, so we should be alright. Sagi Fatface first, Buddha second, Sharknell third, Avilak 1.5 seconds back in 4th, Manu in 5th, Pandago very, very close to Manu, but just missing out in 6th, Yakunachel for Ferrari in 7th, Carl in 8th, he was the first to retire, and Burnout in 9th. Pandago's left the session. I think that's a connection error, but we should have him back.
Yeah. Hopefully just in time for the race.
We'll see what happens here now, because if somebody leaves, then we might restart the lobby, but we know the qualifying order, so they'll just start in the order that they qualified in. Now, will the race be dry? I'm waiting.
I reckon it will be. I can see the Mercedes are struggling for race pace. Oh, just pace in general.
Yeah, the Mercedes is not really up there, as it is a dry race. Stream, is the quality okay? Your side? I was having a couple issues last time streaming, but is everything good your side? I just want to make sure, because if I have to restart, then I'll happily do that. 20 seconds left. We did talk about the one-stop strategy being the main strategy. I wonder if we'll get some people on the mediums, but if I were me, I would be starting on the softs. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, would you prefer the mediums or softs, and obviously you answered that for me.
Yeah, well, for me at least.
The deck was back.
For me at least, I would have gone on the softs, as we have a few people starting on the mediums now on our formation lap. I did mention this earlier, that this isn't just the Grand Prix of Australia. We do have a sponsor for this event. It's the Durapol Projects Grand Prix of Australia. As we see, Burnout and Snifferlars are disqualified. Now, that happens when you end up hitting another driver, so I wonder what's happened to them.
Oh no, Yakonako just got disqualified as well.
So that's Yaknal instead of Yakunako. That's been disqualified as well. That's interesting. Okay, well, they've been disqualified. As the strategy predictor comes up, we've got soft hard and then a soft medium. I think we both think that the soft hard is going to be best, don't you think? Yes,
that's the best strategy to go for.
Right, so we've got somebody saying in the chat, can't take control of my car. Hopefully that gets sorted. We don't want to restart the lobby, obviously, because that's quite time consuming, but if we have to, then that's what we've got to do. I was saying earlier,
I think these drivers just fight.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that Durable Projects is the sponsor for today's event. Durable Projects, if you need any electrical engineering business done, whether it's on a business scale or just in your home, It can be anything from gates to if you need water pumps installed, if you need hydraulics or automation for maybe your business. Durabold projects are the people to go for. So check out Durabold projects at duraboldprojects.co.za. Thanks very much for sponsoring us, guys, as we will get the lineup now. We'll wait for everybody to come. Hopefully it's a clean start. Some people say that they can't take control of their car, so we might have to restart. But we will wait for everybody to line up now, and we will wait for the lights. Just a few people forming up the order now, and we will see the lights out shortly.
Just a Red Bull, the last one coming up.
Alright, 5 lights will go out shortly. Asagi Fatface on pole. Can he protect his lead? It is lights out as Buddha gets a drive-through penalty for a jump start. However, I have a Buddy. Oh, massive crash at the back. It looks like Sniffalaza, Jacques Nel in contact there as Manu goes down a few places. It is Buddha in first, but it looks like it will be a safety car. Yeah, so Buddha in first. However, he does have a drive-through penalty that he will have to serve. He cannot change his tires. He cannot change his tires in a drive-through penalty, as Nick gets a 5-second penalty there. I'm not too sure what that was for. Anyway, safety car. Buddha. Where's Buddha gone?
First lap.
It's gone in P4 now.
Even before the first corner, it's just Christmas lights with the penalties coming in.
Yeah, I must say. Julie's saying go Sagi. Sagi's in second place, and he is the man for the job at the minute because Buddha did overtake him on a jump start. Will we see Buddha serve his penalty? I think we should. Do you think we'll see anybody pit stop? It is the first couple laps, so if you want to do a 2-stop, that might work.
I don't think you should pit. It's too early for pit at the moment.
Yeah, I think
a
it
bit
is.
Later on, probably.
Everybody will be on fresh tires because of the wet session that we had. So nobody's on used tires, so they should be alright for tire wear. Now, will we see anybody come in? Buddha doesn't. Sagi doesn't. Avilak doesn't. We will see people with wing damage probably come in, so I'm just looking on the track map to see.
And Manu has come into the pits.
Manu, right?
Maybe because of wing damage? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so Manu did lose one position on the start. No, I think he lost multiple on the start. But looks like he will come out of the pits now. Still sees in 8th place. There's actually a lot of people in the pits at the moment, so from about Manu downwards, everybody I think just changing their wings at the minute.
And I see the Mercedes serving 5-second penalty in the pit.
Yep, so
a lot of people serving their penalties.
Yeah, we've got Sniffalaza as well serving a penalty. There's 2 ways you can serve it, so you can either stay stationary in the pits for 5 seconds, or you can have that added to your time at the end of the race. Come in for the drive-through. He will have to serve that within 3 laps though, so he will have to come in eventually. I would have come in on the first to the pack, and if he goes into the pits now, then he's going to come out and lost.
Dylan, your mic is cutting out. Not sure if that's my side or your side. Maybe
Hello?
ask the stream if his mic's mic's still cutting out. Maybe ask the stream, is Dylan's mic okay for you?
Yeah, I can see the quality on the stream is a little bit suboptimal. Yeah, okay, I think it's come back. Is this okay?
Yeah, better. It's much better.
Alright, cool. There we go.
Damn, Bulldog has put softs on. So he's probably want to get up as he can and then chuck on the mediums later on the race.
Ooh.